words, Joe.
Dave, you're gonna stay here and be my foil?
Yeah, sure. I'm an excellent foil, Tom.
All right. You're getting to hear a lot of really interesting little quips and stories about Stomping Tom. I have perhaps the best one of the evening, even though I never met the gentleman.
Wow.
Are you ready for this?
Those are big words.
Those are big words. Here we go. Okay, it's 6 years ago or so, July 2007. I'm sitting backstage before one of the great annual Blue Rodeo shows at the Molson Amphitheater. I'm with Basil, the bass player, Greg Keeler, and Jim Cuddy. And Jim takes looks at me and says, "Okay, JC, what's going on with the 60th anniversary of the Horseshoe that year?" Because the Horseshoe has a birthday, Horseshoe Tavern. And Jim, Basil, shrugged his shoulders and says, "Well, what does that have to do with us?" I said, "Well, I need a backing band." But on the night of the 60th anniversary, on 2007 when Blue Rodeo did 3 sets here with all their guests, Bruce came down and gave me a present, gave me a signed picture from Stomping Tom Connors. And it says, I'll read it to you, "Happy 60th anniversary from an old Horseshoe pal, sincerely, Stomping Tom, December 5th, 2007, sits above my desk in the back of the legendary Horseshoe Tavern."
This is a poem that Mikey Chuck Rivers wrote after going to the Stompin' Tom Memorial in Peterborough a few weeks ago.
That's right, a couple of me and my Clinton, Ontario cronies went up to make the pilgrimage to Peterborough. We drank a little too much, me and Wood Gundy and Sunday Morning Shoulders, who played a young Stompin' Tom at the Blythe Festival production of the Ballad of Stompin' Tom Connors. We got a little too drunk and recorded a spoken word poem. You give it a stomp. Anytime you see Dave Bedini spilling coffee time on his Paul Corrington novel, you give it a stomp. Tom, I found your music like most Canadians do. On the rim they roll up. When February's soon. When you're flipping the Queen's mug. And you're finding a loon. When you wonder out loud, what in the hell is a gumboot cloggeroo? When you're missing an Alberta rose under a prairie moon. In the middle of the third period, last game of the playoffs too. Tom, I found you like most Canadians do. I pummel back John Labatt 50s and John Labatt blues. I find the head of a moose too. Mr. Tom. We drink beers and cough over sad stories to tell of broken-hearted girls and real Canadian girls. We think no thoughts of Inco. We never let them be heard. And if anybody mutters the word Tilson, fuck my back, Tilson. You really did believe your country came before yourself. Your boot came down heavy, but it always meant well. So when I hear the thunder, my maple heart swells. Tom, you're stomping in heaven, but you're giving her hell. Let's have a beer, stomping.
Trying to get a bus, trying to get a train, trying to get back to my field of grain, away from 40th Street and Main. There blew my mind and my money in vain. I blew my past on a 5-cent River Jane. Here we go. Red River Jane, that's the name of 69 Rip-Off Lane. I must have been insane.
Mr. Dave Hodge.
So I just got here. I have some questions for you. I need the answers. Have I missed the hockey song? Then we're going to sing it again. I don't want to say better, but you could say louder. Probably in about an hour, and nobody, including me, is allowed to leave until the finale, which is, somebody really smart thought this up, the hockey song one more time. No pressure.
Street on Friday. Till the moon's the rhyme. No.
Okay. No.
Nah.
But
That's hard.
Mono a mono.
There you go.
I have had mono though before.
Yoinks.
And I've mixed records in mono.
Okay, we're just doing a minute here. Honey, can you see? Okay, I'll go over here. I'll go over there, honey. Okay. Okay. I got it.
All right.
All right.
Saturday night. With Irish Jim McDonald and Scotty McDonald. Is honky Frederick Herzl getting tight? That's alright. After dinner they'll be laughing up the honey boy. Everything is funny for a Saturday tonight. There's a rock and bingo and the boys are getting stinko. Ain't no more of bingo on a Saturday.
When we went to find out, to check in, find out about his gig, he found out that they booked him at the bandstand, which is a small place. And so he thought, well, why, I'm one of the country's biggest entertainers, why can't I play the grandstand? I can fill it and stuff. And they were like, well, we've already booked the grandstand, so you can play the band show. I was like, well, who do you have booked in the bandstand? And they named 8 American acts that were to play there that summer. And he was pissed off. And so he held a press conference where he gave back all of his Juno Awards and removed himself from public life for a year in protest of the actions of the Canadian recording industry.
He's playing some brushes on the drums.
Brushes on the drums, real quiet. I made a recording of this song the night that I read the news that Stompin' Tom passed on, and so I'm going to play it for you tonight. I am the wind. I am the wind. Without foe, without friend, I have no home, no cares to do.
With my mom this week, it's not a lie, and my dad, who's no longer with us here, who's up there watching, I think, with Tom, I hope, was thrilled because I was playing the stage at Stompin' Tom 12 years on and off. So there's not a lot of songs, like Dave said, about Toronto, and certainly not a kind of a romantic vision of Toronto. I think Down by the Henry Moore by Murray McLaughlin, and this one, Ryan Barwin from Hamilton, Tim from Moncton, Ryan Barwin from Hamilton, Ontario, on the dobro. Jeff, his last name is McNeil from Halifax, Nova Scotia. For everybody who loves this city. Well, tonight I'm far away, but I'm dreaming of home and my darling so true. Yes, tonight I'm far away, but I'm dreaming, clap your hands, that's right, of my home in Toronto with you. We were kids on the streets of Toronto. In days when I love.
It's true.
How you doing, guys?
Pretty
pretty much an honor 20 years ago being Stompin' Tom's beer rep, who delivered a beer fridge to his house 20 years ago, and I left 3 days later. He hid my car keys and called in sick for me. And then it just kept going to the point where I'm like, I can't even go there anymore. Anyhow, one of the most incredible times of my life was when I took my father up to meet Stompin' Tom. And my dad said, I've never met anyone famous before. And I said, don't worry, it's just Tom. He's Tom. So he got out of the car and he walked up to Tom and he went, oh my God, you're my hero. And Tom said, if I'm your hero, you're in fucking trouble. And it's 6 in the morning and I sneak off to a spare bedroom. And Tom wakes me up at like 9 the next day and goes, he left, he drove away, he's gone, the band's gone. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, he left. So I wake up, I go, what do I do? He goes, like, oh, have a few beers and like, let's eat bacon and eggs. Which Tom smoked while eating bacon and eggs. And I said, did he really leave? He goes, no, I made it up. He drove his van around the corner and made footprints in the snow and convinced me that Tom was, like, Adam was asleep. So I get up and
You know that signed guitar?
Yeah.
Somebody bid $500 for it.
That's incredible.
It's incredible.
Keep it going, folks.
Exactly.
If I sing about a saddle, or ask you where we're gone, think about a cowboy beneath the prairie sun. Gonna sing about a railroad, some fellow in an axe. Sing about a big man